No, that one is the best. I think I'm the one that said it. I didn't do like that one. He's the one that said it. That one. See this man, he does not allow you to go through when you're look for that day, the which our Father is brought over to the sea and be delivered into the new dawn of an age of existence for life. Separateness from God, dignity of life, one faith, one religion, one God, good health, free from coronavirus, and I will say, through the gift of their Son, shall be delivered, and this they are, and your holiness we pray. Son, not the Holy.
Excellency, the Executive Governor of Ebonyi State, Engineer Dr. David Mweze Umahi, ready to give updates on the fight against COVID-19, otherwise known as coronavirus, in the state. We are reaching you live at New Government House, Centenary City, Abakaliki, Ebonyi State. You can also watch us on Soul TV. On behalf of my colleague Sandra Chuko, my name is Emenike Ogalag. Of course, the Director General of EBBC is here with us.
Service Chief, the Chairman of Local Government, CMD Operator, senior government officials, the good people of Ebonyi State, good morning to you all. We have called for emergency security meeting this morning, but before then there is a need to update Ebonyians on what our government is doing to protect our state against this scourge. You recall that before the COVID-19 was reported in Nigeria, we had gone ahead to prepare against that by starting to build two quarantine centers, one in Ishelu and one in Unity Square, which is now going to be 3 apartments over there. The Ishelu Quarantine Center is about 10 rooms. The 2 quarantine centers in Unity Square, each is about 10 rooms. They are fully ready. We are working on the 3rd one. This we started in January this year, and I'm happy we started on time. We have also yesterday gone ahead to prepare 6 general hospitals. To further prepare, we chose 2 per zone. In Central, we chose the general hospital in Ikwo and the general hospital in Onweke. In North, we chose the Boko General Hospital in the Z, and then Ezambo General Hospital. It's believed that Ezambo should be able to serve that of Ishelu or Axis. In South, we have Onitsha General Hospital and Itimuku General Hospital in Afikpo North. Now, these hospitals, God forbid that we have a case. It's not that if you are from one particular zone, you have to go to a zone. No. You take patients, God forbid again, to any center that is close to the patients. We have holding center at FETA. The holding center is if we suspect somebody and those who are returning from very high, pandemic countries, we hold them there. Today we have 6 people there. One is coming from France and he has no symptoms, but we have to play safe by holding him there. He's been there for 4 days. There is a husband and wife that came from UK. They had slight fever and cough. We are holding them there too. They say they came in 14 days ago, but I'm told by CMD that the symptoms of fever and cough have disappeared, but are still there. We have 2 from Lagos. The 2 from Lagos are also there. Then we have 1 Fulani man that has been coughing badly. According to him, he said that he's been coughing the past 1 month, so we're also holding him there. Now, our testing center for COVID-19 is now ready in Ebonyi State. The installation was completed last night. That is the 7th COVID-19 testing center in the whole of Nigeria. And some people were questioning why using Ebonyi State and the entire southeast. The truth is that the machine and facilities for testing COVID-19 is the same machine that is used for testing Lassa fever. And so we built our own Lassa fever center, which we donated to the federal government since 2016, well furnished with dialysis machines and all kinds of equipment. Federal government has been sending patients to come over to use these facilities. So all that the federal government did yesterday is to bring in reagents and they configure it to accept the specimen for COVID-19 specimen. So that's what they have done. Now these 6 people that are in the holding center, we've taken their samples to the lab. So we are going to run the test there now. And if the test are negative, which I prayed for, then we will let them go. And we let the world know that we have launched ours and they tested negative. Our prayer is that the blood of the Lamb will protect our state, that all Thursdays shall come negative. We have ordered churches and mosques, nightclubs, schools, drinking parlors to close down. And the TAs are requested, I repeat, all the TAs are requested to implement this. Any TA that is not involved in this will lose his or her job. And so you have to begin to work in the closest location near to you. We have your list, we have your phone numbers. At the end of the day, we want to get your report. We want the PS, Principal Secretary to Government, to take note. If you are living close to church, to school, you have to daily go and work there. But you have to use protective device. You must teach people to wash their hands. You must use handkerchief if you don't have this mask to cover your nose, and teach people to do that. This is very important. So TAs are to enforce this. Any church or mosque or nightclub or school or drinking parlor that defies this order will be acquired by government. The government will acquire the property immediately and then arrest whoever that is in charge there. Before our order, the Catholic Church had shown very good example by the Bishop, our father in the Lord, Bishop Michael Nachoko, by asking all the Catholics to close shop after yesterday Mass. And so other churches must learn from this. And I want to ask religious bodies to stop deceiving the masses. Let us obey government. We do not know the mind of God. Until the mind of God is fulfilled, that is when we can, authoritatively say that right now we do not know the mind of God. So let us play safe and be prayerful. For markets, we are not happy with the way the markets are running. We have a committee on market. I think they are taking note. But are we be led to shut down the markets if the social distancing, the cleanness of the market, the washing of hands, the sanitizers, using handkerchief to close the mouth and nose of everybody in the market, if it is not carried out, I will close all markets in Ebonyi State. So I'm warning market leadership to implement this, and I'm also warning the committee on market. And to add to this enforcement, all the STAs and the EAs are to be deployed to markets to enforce this. Any STA and EA that fails to be part of this movement has lost his or her job, and there will be no remedy to that. I wish to appeal to food and medical vendors and other sellers of goods and services to please bring down their prices to the same prices that were there before this pandemic. We are asking you, it's an appeal. When we appeal and you do not want to listen, we will enforce it. Do not make things too hard for our people. It's not acceptable. Let me warn that we have only locked down the borders. We have noticed illegal blockage within the local government areas, and I've directed that only the chairman of local governments and the DPOs will give the authorization jointly before any other blockage is mounted in any part of Ebonyi State other than at the borders and all the entry points of Ebonyi State. Spreading of fear and fake news is an offense, and I'm asking Director of SSS to track them down as we send their names, and we arrest them and try them under the law. And anybody arrested under defilement of these orders shall be kept as long as the pandemic lasts. We have to be vigilant at the same time for insecurity. I'm told about 3 days ago that 2 Chinese men were kidnapped at a quarry site because their security was withdrawn to assist for the border closure. I'm asking the herdsmen within that location to be held accountable and to produce the white men immediately. I will be appealing to the Ebonyi State House of Assembly to please reconvene tomorrow to address the law that will give the governor the powers to make an executive order to cover all this. I believe that the House will assist us by reconvening tomorrow to do this. We are making more efforts to buy protective devices. We have a total of 4 ventilators now. We have ambulances, we have sanitizers, we have temperature checks, thermometers, and so many other devices. I think the federal government share from Quartmark, the Chinese billionaire sent to us, I think they say it's 1,500 package of masks. Then 20 clothes, maybe for medical workers to use to cover themselves. We are making efforts to send them, but we are making efforts to buy test kits if approved by the Minister of Health, that is the correct type, but we're also making efforts to buy other protective wears for our medical personnel and also for our people. We have locked down one hotel for our medical personnel and every other worker that will be there to serve them. This we have done to protect their families and the general public. And we made them to sign a code of conduct that while you are there, you will not leave the hotel. It is from there vehicle picks you to your workplace and from there back. Food, drinks will be provided and water for them, so they are not allowed to move unless at the end of the service, and before they leave, they will undergo test before we release them to the public, so that we'll be sure that they are free and that their families and the public will be free as they mix up again. But in the meantime, effective from today, we are holding down about 40 health workers in one of the hotels. Do not visit them, you will be arrested. And if you're a health worker, you try to go on your own, you will also be arrested. That is my order. The security agencies must send people to effect this. We're very shocked that in most of the borders, trucks carrying fuel, building materials, materials, food are being delayed. They have been delayed. We only said passengers are not allowed. That is what we said. So we want all the locations to please take note and do not extort money from people. Let me thank the Deputy Governor very highly. I commend you, the Speaker, the CMD, the Commissioner for Health, Wangele, Local Government Commissioner, the Chairman of Local Government, Father Abraham Wale, the CAN, the religious bodies, and in fact, all those who are involved in this, including some of our service chiefs. However, we have noticed quite a lot of sabotage from our security people, and I'm very shocked that in a situation like this, that bribery and corruption could still thrive among our security people. I have security report on this. I have report from the local government chairman. I have report from individuals. We are going to talk about this during our security meeting. But I want to let the service chiefs know that should we have any case arising from this, they will be held very, very much responsible. Especially if the case is coming from the pandemic state. So it's important that we know what we are into, and I will not let go. I will hold the security chiefs totally and firmly responsible for any pandemic that will come. So it's important that you warn your men, and the discipline, including dismissal within your policy and powers, to teach them some lessons. Some people go as far as being drivers of buses. They will drive the buses across the border, collect people, pass them. Some people go as far as using trucks to ferry people across. It is shocking and disgracing that in a situation like this, that we cannot think twice and know the dangers of having just one case in Ebonyi State. To further assist our people to prepare very well, I've directed all the 13 local government chairmen, the Commissioner for Local Government, the Accountant General, to immediately today get overdraft from the banks and pay salaries and allowances for the month of April for all the civil servants and public servants. And I asked them to buy food, buy medicine as the case may be, in case there is a need for a total lockdown. This is very important, and this is the reason why we are paying you, getting loan to pay you ahead of the month. This is very, very important. On palliative measure, federal government has not given any money to any of the states. Only Lagos, which is the epicenter of the pandemic, got 10 billion. The state governors have been on with the federal government to assist them to cushion the effect of the problems that we are undergoing, building of quarantine centers, buying of medical equipment, buying protective equipment, security challenges, and so on and so forth, that no state is left with one kobo to do palliative measures for our citizens. However, we believe strongly that as soon as federal government does something, that we will be able to do something. But unless that happens, there will be no money to do any palliative measure, in the states. And what we've been preaching since 2015 has suddenly come to be. The need for us to have second address, the need for us to embrace agriculture, the need for us to embrace, one kind of business or the other than mainly depending on politics. I believe that at the end of this pandemic, by the God's special grace, it shall be a big lesson for each and every one of us and for our nation, Nigeria. So, we appreciate many Ebonians that have been calling for palliative measure, but be assured that nothing has come from the federal government, and as soon as we get, we'll be able to do something. And our target shall be to meet, even if it's 5 kg rice, 2,000 households, in 171 wards, 5,000 widows, to reach out to prisons, disabled, all hospitals, all religious centers, the elderly in the society. So on the whole, we'll be targeting 360,000 households. So whatever thing that we get from federal government, if it comes, this will be our target. So we request the local government chairman to work ahead of time to compile names of these 2,000 households plus the elderly reward. Of course, Father Abraham Wali and Stella Ogoke should do the desirable concerning the widows, the disabled, the hospital, religious centers. This is very important in preparation, for any assistance from anywhere. What we shall do will depend on what we get. And God forbid, if we get nothing, it will be difficult to provide anything other than to concentrate on providing free medical case, protective devices for Ebonyi people. You must also know that apart from COVID-19, we are also fighting Lassa fever in the state. We have still directed our people that are staying outside Ebonyi to stay where they are, but they are coming through bushes. The Royal Highnesses, Town Union Presidents and Management Committee, plus liaison officers and councillors must comb all their locations and give us the information on such people so that we can monitor them. The phone numbers are still the hotline 070 4591 0340. 070 4591 0340. Another phone number is 081 5927 9460. 081 5927 9460. The third phone number is 070 8576 763054. I request EBBC to display this on their dashboards. it will be an offense for any Royal Highness Power Union presidents, the councillors, management committee, the councillors and liaison officers not to engage in these very critical and important assignments. The information manager also display the numbers for the committee on COVID-19 so that they will send information directly to such numbers. Yesterday and day before yesterday, we arrested over 500 of our people. Some also came from outside our state. We quarantined them at the stadium. We gave them food, we gave them drink, we gave them clothes. We tested them for 2 days. We are likely to release them today and transport them back to their homes with their phone numbers, location, villages, wards and local government noted for continuous monitoring. And I ask the medical personnel to take this monitoring very seriously. We are appealing to our illustrious sons, National Assembly members, government officials, business partners, contractors in Ebonyi State, businessmen and women in and outside Ebonyi State to donate towards helping government to help our people. They will display the account number of these special funds to you, and this will be, the expenditures will be made also public. Let me use the opportunity to thank the chairman of UBA. He donated 1 billion to all the states. I think he also donated money to the center. But when they shared it, our own share is 28.5 million. 28.5 million. The account is being credited. We will use this. So this is our appeal to our people, and we would like you to ask questions through the 3 phone lines we gave to you. We can entertain questions from outside through the phone lines and from within. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. What we do is to focus the phone about it today. That's why the phone
Yeah, we are doing our best to get them arrested. That's why we have deployed all coordinators. All coordinators are to deploy their men to arrest them. And of course, all coordinators are also to check all the drinking joints and nightclubs and arrest the managers of such. When you arrest them, aggregate them, and we bring them to the stadium and quarantine them. This is very vital and important. Thank you very much.
Let's also have a form to kindly take it and prepare it in the answer when they are necessary. Once again, the phone numbers are 07
persons you mentioned, they are all mans. I'm also from that axis of so they are properly manned. The Okmanko axis to Ubru manned, the Mbu axis to Ubru manned, the Akezi axis manned, Itimuku also manned, so everywhere is manned. Jacinta, thank you very much. You have to let our operators know about it so that we can. Thank you very much, Jacinta. Let us know details so that we can document and reach back to you. Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Please, your name and location.
Immediately after this, you have to go and find out. What I know is suspended is checks, clearing of checks. That transfers are still allowed, you can still withdraw, you can still deposit. But if you are giving somebody checks, the central bank has suspended that, so you have to note that. So we will look into the matter.
Yes.
Lovely, thank you. When you are at home, you don't have sanitizer. There's no need for sanitizer if you are in your house. Just wash your hands and stay indoor. When you are going out to buy food, you will now use sanitizer and use handkerchief to cover your nose and your mouth. And you go and come back, wash your hands again and put sanitizer. Now, there is no government that can provide food for every of our citizens. So you have to work and get money to buy your food. But in state, it's not yet mature. It's not like United States where you can have such opportunity to do that. So if you do not work, the Bible says you should remain hungry. I don't have such TA. I don't have such TA.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
subject to be arrested. So any security man that is coming is like any other person. If you are not on essential duty, then you're subject of arrest. It's very simple. Not only policeman, whether you're army or any other security agents.
Thank you. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good
Let me add to the entire society that the chief security officer, I give everybody powers to arrest anybody defiling this order and bring the person to either the police or the army or the SSS. You know, everybody has got power under this situation to arrest anybody that is defiling the order to endanger the lives of the people. You arrest, don't keep, you have to take them to any of the security agencies who will do the needful, turning them to us so that we quarantine them under the Quarantine Act. Well, thank you very much. My idea is that the so-called allowances paid to people at the borders should be diverted to that within half of it should be provision of food. So I hereby order that all the people working at the border should be fed, 3 times every day, and they must provide water. I've seen some things. I'm not sure of toilet, but the issue you ask is there is also a quarantine center, which part of it is also for security people. They can use that. Culturally, the bushes are also there, very important. But the principal secretary of state affairs can attempt to provide mobile toilets in all the locations as much as you can to complement the bush.
Hello, good afternoon. Thank you very much. Please, can you tell us where you are coming from? And any of the topics you are sure that we are still moving with? So can you tell everyone the topics you are sure that we are still moving with? Okay, topics you are still moving at which church can you tell the location? Hello? Can you tell us the name of the church and the location? Church of Christ, the location. Where is the church, sir?
Where all the coordinators in our local government, you may be hearing me now, the TSS, they say Church of Christ. I want you to go there with cane. Everybody that is there must receive at least 10 strokes of the cane, and then the leaders must be arrested and brought to me. I'm sure that you are hearing me. Go there with cane, don't go without cane. Everybody there will receive a holy 10 strokes of the cane, and then the church sealed, and then the leaders arrested. free to move food across. We want the security chiefs to put up monitoring team, and sometimes you arrange a vehicle to go and pass and see if they will collect money from them, and then you arrest and bring. If by God's special grace the House of Assembly passes our law this week, it will be an offense to collect money under this circumstance, and there is no option for fine if the person is convicted. It will be straight imprisonment. I don't know how long. So we are coming up with a very tough laws that will guide against this kind of misbehaviors. The country is already stressed. The citizens are passing through quite a lot of challenges. So to stress the people at the border to collect money from them, and of course hiking the transport fees and endangering the lives of our people, quite unacceptable. So I would like the security people to please stand up to this. This is war, and we have to treat it as such. Get a monitoring unit, maybe 3 in the 3 zones. Sometimes you prepare a vehicle and disguise it to go and pass, and then put security people on mufti, and then deal decisively for anybody that is trying to inflict further pains on our people. Yeah, my brother governor of Enugu and other Southeast governors are doing their best, and they know they are the best time to get their borders shut, and they are doing very well and following up the activities, and I commend them very, very highly. We also suggest that all the people who are working with this border should be properly protected, and anyone without protective device should not be there, and is also subject to arrest. So our governors are doing their best, and so far, apart from the unfortunate 2 cases in Enugu State, they have not expanded due to the efforts of the governor of Enugu State, so I commend him very highly. We have known in Imo, we have known in Anambra, we have known in Abia, we have known in Ebonyi. It's a time for solidarity. It's not a time to compare one governor to the other. It's a time to encourage our governors. Governors may not have to come out and be shouting. Everybody cannot be the same. A lot of them are working on the ground to protect their people. So kudos to all the Southeast governors and of course all the governors in Nigeria. Even if the number were 1, all religious centers are hereby shut down, as we said before. No going in, no coming in. Nobody should be seen there other than security people. Do not pray in your house. This is time for religious people to also give assistance to their members. Some of these people are driven by the tithes and offerings, but it goes beyond that. So this is time that whatever you have collected from us is a time to also sow seed in our lives. So no religious activities. God will answer us anywhere we are. You can do phone conference prayers. You can do fasting and prayers, and then put the phones on, connect 20, 50 people and pray together. If you have no means of paying tithe, you can bring it to government house so that we can put it in this the fund to fight this pandemic. So please, let our people not be deceived. Social distancing until we know the mind of God.
Thank you very much. Our also specific knowledge about it. Where do we go to the approach and which phone number do we call in event of this? Two, what are the mechanisms put in place to stop the selection of private or public in our various markets?
We have appealed to people, but you are coming up with a law that will make it punishable for anyone that hikes prices. However, that law makes also provision for unavoidable increase. For example, if there are increases in the way they are buying these things from outside the state, it means that the Office of Commissioner for Commerce and Industry will be notified, and such increase will be permitted under the law. So we are addressing that, and but so far I don't think there is any need in Ebonyi State, especially food items, to be increased. This is very important. And people have been asking us to close markets. We cannot close markets because our people are still not properly aware and equipped. So we still allow markets unless if they defy the new order we gave about social distancing, and they're closing their mouth and nose and buckets of water and sanitizers. If they defy it, we will hesitate not to close it, just